Good day, everyone. We once more get back into Utawarerumono, Mask of Truth. Where we left off, we were in Kamiyu. We had just visited Oster's. This is Haku's personated as Oster, because he passed away. We visited the Lord of Iniakamu and the Lord Past, who is the grandfather of Kiru. Lord Past the country of Iniakamu to us, so we're now the official, I don't know, temporary lord for military activity and all that of the whole region, country. And we then went and visit Oster's and Nico's mother. But now we're on with the story. I'm wiped. The instant the door shuts behind me, I collapse forward onto the bed in my chambers, exhausted. Masquerading as Oster, I knew it wouldn't be easy, but this is nothing like the times I went around pretending to be him for fun. I didn't think it would be this tough to really wholly impersonate someone. Running over the day's events in my mind only seems to make my body feel heavier. But this is the fate I've chosen. This is the grand charade I've decided to take on. Charade I take on. I should get to bed. There's a lot to do in the morning. I roll my shoulders with a grimps. They're tighter than they were this morning, that's for sure. I guess it was a pretty tense day.
Mommy, mommy.
Squeeze, squeeze.
お疲れ様です。肩をお揉みします。
Master, allow me to administrate a relaxing massage. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Please go ahead. Relaxing more fully, I gave himself over to Sayonara's expertise, allowing her to take care of my aches and pains. Ah, are you too sure it's okay to be up? Briefly, I recall our flight from the capital, or rather, how they slept like the dead for the whole ride. Their spells must have worn them out. Well, considering that they used that tunnel spell quite a bit to get into the palace, and then all the way up to the princess's room, and then on top of that, used that big super healing technique on Ruru. Yeah, I think they were dead, tired,
問題なし。
unrattled.
心配おかけしました。この通り、すっかり回復しました。
We have given you cause for concern, but you need no longer worry. As you can see, we are both restored to peak condition. I see. That's good to know. Relief trickles through me at the reassurance. They definitely don't seem to be as pale as they were before.
おみ足を。
Feet, please.
足湯を用意しました。どうぞ楽にしてください。
We have made ready a foot bath for you. Please, take advantage and relax. Ah, thanks. That should help after walking around all day. Uru guides my feet into the hot water-filled tub and begins to massage them. I wish I had that kind of service. Working in tandem with her sisters, Sarana squeezes my shoulders, and the tension seems to melt from either end of my body under their care. Oh, this is life.
こんなに硬くなってる。
You have become very stiff.
たまりすぎです。私たちで気持ちよくなってください。
You strain yourself beyond reason. Please, allow us to give you Sasor. That feels good. I feel like I'm in a dream.
ここ、
Here?
ここもかなり。
You're also very... Ah, there. Right there. Oh! It's like my physical body is just melting away. These two really know how to use their hands. Granted, they still say some odd stuff. Settling back, I offer offer myself up to their miscretions, token of relaxation. Ugh. Hold on there. Something doesn't feel right about this. Something, something. Oh crap! I'm supposed to be Asta right now. Reality comes crashing back, and my head snaps to my face. My hand, feeling out the shape of, feeling out the shape of the Akaruruku there. I have the mask on. I never told these two my real identity. And why? Why would they serve Asta? What did?
どうかした？
What? You think they couldn't notice? What is something the matter?
何か気になることでもありましたか？
Master, is something wrong? Sensing my distress, they quickly stop their massage and look at me. What are you two doing?
癒している。
Soothing you.
溜まって硬くなったところを揉みほぐしています。
We are applying friction to the parts of your body that has become stiff and swollen. Not that. I mean, why are you serving me? You're already bound to another master.
意味不明。
We do not understand. As one, they cock their heads, failing to grasp the question. I am not Haku, your master. You two are bound to no other. You didn't serve me like this.
やっぱり意味不明。
I still do not understand.
おっしゃっている意味が
Yeah,
よ
they
くわ
right.
かりません。
If you think they wouldn't understand that, or not at least not understand, but know who you are, that would be a joke. What are you saying makes no sense.
尽くすのは当たり前。
Of course we must serve you.
それよりもなぜそんな格好をしてい
Yep.
るのでしょうか。
In fact, we should like to ask why you're dressed so oddly.
明かせぬ事情があるのかと思い、陰ながら認識障害の呪法をかけ、皆には正体が分かりにくくなるようにしていましたが。
We assumed you had your reasons, and wove an enchantment that distorts perception so as not to alert anyone of your true identity. Glance at first at each other, then at me in an eerie unison. They speak in one voice.
何をなさっているのですか？
What are you doing,
主様。
Master? Did they just call me Master? Could they be? No. They definitely see right through me. Since, when was that perception spell cast on me? Is that why nobody suspects me? I guess it doesn't matter. No, you never had perception. You have a natural perception spell, you can almost say. Gripes. More importantly, what do I do now? Do I keep up the act or...
主様。
Master?
もしかしてこれは期待してもいいのですか？
Should we prepare for more involved friction? No, listen. When did I become your master? Must be some kind of mistake.
ありえない。
It's an impossibility.
私たちが主様を見間違えるはずがありません。
We would never mistake master for another. Why do you say that?
主様は主様。
Master is master.
主様は主様以外にありえない魂の色をしています。たとえ姿が変わっても、それを見間違えるはずがありません。
Master's soul projects an aura hued like no other. Even should your physical form wholly change, we would never mistake that deep, strong color.
私たちが主様を見間違えることは決
Master,
してありえないのです。
Master is unlike any other, and we cannot mistake him for any other. The color of my... What? What the hell are they talking? Ah, no, they're being serious. They're not lying. Which means they know it was me under the mask from the start. Still though, the color of my soul. I'm curious, what color is it?
生命の根源。
The root, where from springs life.
命に糧を与え、育む色です。
The hue of nourishment and of cultivation. Is that a good color or
茶色です。
is brown? Brown. That's disappointing.
素敵な色。
It is a wonderful color.
連鎖の始まりとその果ての終わりを司る色。
Yeah, because everything comes and goes from the earth. Even us humans. We wouldn't be alive without the the earth, the ground, that which presides over the beginning of the chain and end in even measure,
引き受け返す色
that which gives and reclaims,
濁りを引き受け大地に帰りやがては息吹になるという主様に似合う色
brown fits you, master, in that you serve a similar role. From the grind loom of old growth, you take upon yourself and foster new things. Brown, a color that cultivates, inscrutably opu, no, puke, no, opaque. The color at the end of the. Okay, well, no. Are they comparing me to
主様
master? Shit. Never mind. Brown, huh?
どうかした
Is something wrong?
何か変なところがありましたか
You think our words strange? Both of them regard me with clear, confident eyes. They really meant every word, calling it beautiful like that. By the way, if I can ask, what color was Oster's?
青
Blue.
空のような透明な青です
A crisp azure blue, like the noonday sky. Like the sky, huh? I was never really in competition with Oster, but I can't help but feel like I lost out to him on this one. I resist the urge to fall to my knees in defeat, turning my thoughts elsewhere. Right, I should talk to these two about. I need you both to listen to me. No matter what, you must act as though Haku, the man you served, is dead, gone. The man before you now is Oster, the Imperial Guard of the Right. Nothing more, nothing less. That being said, what are you going to do now?
どうするも何も
What do you mean? What are you going to do?
たとえどのような姿をしていようとも主様に仕えます
We have already spoken these words. Our master remains our master eternal, regardless of what shell he wears, and we are his service.
それが私たちの存在理由ですから
Such is our purpose for being. I see. Then I won't say a word more. The twins answers a little sigh of relief.
まだ途中
The task is incomplete.
では続きをさせていただきます
Allow us to continue. And just like that, their hands are back to my shoulders and feet once again, and the pleasant simulation and pressure of massaging returning. Almost as though their hands can sink in and fill up the cracks in my resolve, shore up weaknesses. Their efforts are always commendable, even if they tend to overdo things. But I never thought there would come a day if I actually needed this. Just the massage alone has me feeling refreshed. I'm a simple man to please.
お任せ
Just don't allow them to get too far into the massage. Please, leave everything to us.
さあごゆるりと
Yes, relax,
どうか私たちで気持ちよくなってください
and allow us to bear you to ecstasy. Why do I get the feeling there's a double meaning to that? I lay in bed in the dead of night, unable to find sleep. As I stare up at the dark ceiling, a faint voice disturbs the silence.
私のせいで
What is this?
私のせいで
It's Nico. So quiet, like I could fade at any moment. It doesn't sound rhythmic enough to be a conversation, but too long to be someone just talking to themselves. As I step in the hall, a shaft of light leaking from the room adjacent to mine catches my eye.
私のせいで
This room. Sliding up to the door to avoid detectives, I crane my neck to peer inside.
私のせいで
Yeah,
私のせいで
I figured she'd be doing something like this.
私のせいで
My fault. My fault. My fault. My fault. Nico. What are you doing, doggy? Nico sits atop her bed, hugging her knees close to her chest and muttering under her breath.
私のせいで私のせいで
It was,
私のせいで私のせいで
it was my fault. My fault. My fault. My fault. Her eyes are clouded and glazed, not so much as a pinprick of light reflected therein.
私のせいで私のせいで私のせいで
My fault, my fault, my fault, my fault, my fault. Oh, Nico. That moment must still be fresh as anything in her mind. Nico. Careful not to startle her, I speak her name softly. Silence continues to reign in the small room until finally Nico raises her voice.
今は一人にしてほしいのです
Please, leave me alone. It's not like I had a choice. Not like I could do anything for her, either. In the face of that kind of grief. Who am I? A liar and a fraud, to do anything to help. The minute between of taking over government of duties consumed the next several days. Work buries me up to my neck. The only free time I really get is when I leave my desk to go sleep. In the wan moonlight filtering through the window, I fold my arms, consider the mountain of tasks before me. Sounds of others' footsteps busily stomping down the hall outside have long since quieted, leaving only silence in the evening hours. Now, what to do?
悩んでる
Something troubles you?
何かご懸念があるのでしたら何でもお申し付けください
We urge you to share your anxieties with us. No, it's alright. I may need your help sooner or later, but not for now. I have to get a better sense of the current state of affairs. I don't know how any of this is going to play out, but I should be prepared for a worst case scenario. I just said that. Priority 1 is protecting the princess. That was Oster's last wish. I cannot forsaken that. Mikado's death should be known all across Yamato by now. And Aju is a new face of Yamato. Just like Burai, people looking to seize power will try to target or kidnap her. Or get rid of her. Because they have some other plan, I mean. The only question is when. So far, no strange activity has been reported in or around Inaagamu, but that's likely to change sooner or later. Considering this is Oster's home turf, someone is bound to put it together and figure out she's hiding with her favorite retainer. As of right now, nobody knows she's here yet, or perhaps they all know, and they're waiting to see who upsets the balance first. I can't afford to be optimistic about our chances if it comes to that. First things first, I should focus on the country's defense. Till Aji is well enough to move around, that's all I can really do. It should be enough to shut up the conspirators if she can return to the capital and make her claim to the throne. But until then, I need to lock this whole situation down before something unreversible happens. Even I know that's wishful thinking, but I have to at least try. There are too many unknowns in this mess. Too much to keep track of. It won't just fall into place so easily.
兄様入ってもよろしいです
Dear brother, may I come in? Voice from the hallway snaps me out of my contemplation. Nico? At Nico's appearance, I glance toward the twins, but neither of them is anywhere to be found. Are they being considered or something? Nico would certainly find it easier to talk without anyone around. Yes, you may enter.
はい
Pardon
失
me.
礼するです
The door slides open to reveal Nico laden with a concerning number of tombs and ledgers. Uh, ah. It's only paper, but stacked up that high, it has to weigh a huge amount. Her legs wobble unreliably as she staggers forward. She's almost definitely can't see where she's going. This is a disaster waiting to happen. Everything all right there? Let me take some of those.
はい、ありがとうなのです。
Uh, thank you. Ah, watch your step just there.
う、
Ah! Nope. I steadied her with a quick reflective hand as she stumbles. Uh, easy there. Are you hurt? I should have said something before you came in. Straighten my sleeves and take the stack of ledgers from Nico.
ごめんなさいです。
I'm sorry. She sits stiffly in front of me, muttering apologies. These are the ledgers I requested?
はいです。言われた通り、あるだけ持ってきたです。
Yes, the complete records, just as you asked. Thank you. Our work cannot begin without these. National budget, inventory of our stores, and the ladders, and reports on troop counts and equipment. In an effort to understand the entirety of Ina Akamu's circumstances, I asked Nico to bring me every official record she could find. Spreading enormous ledgers across the table in front of me, I began to scan and skim, getting a ballpark sense of the numbers. This is. I anticipated this, of course, but not to such an extent.
やっぱり厳しいですか？
How bleak does it look? Well, if what's written here is a true reflection of our circumstances, the days ahead may be rough.
そうですか。
I see. I have no intention of badmouthing Enakamu, of course, but our surroundings do oppose certain limitations. It is not a bountiful land, nor a particularly prosperous, prosperous one. Regardless, its people are able to live with their safety, health, and full bellies. Her Grace has seen to that much by the way of wise, careful management. We have him to thank.
はいです。
Yes, but the balance is delicate. We have provisions and we have soldiers, but nowhere near enough to withstand the strain of war. The ladders are stocked well enough for peacetime, but I can see them vanishing all too easily as violence escalates. Our army is undermanned, and the men we have are untrained. A fight against a formal trained force would not end in our favor. The mountainous terrain will deter evasions, of course, but only up to a certain size. Siege and significant overwhelming numbers will finish us off. As it stands, if we enter hostilities, I cannot say with confidence we will be able to protect the princess.
兄様はこのエンナカムイが戦火に巻き込まれると思うですか？
Do you think it will come to that? Will Iniakamu be caught up in war? It will not be caught up. It will become the very heart of the storm itself. I'm sorry. The times ahead will be difficult.
いいえ、
No.
それが兄様の望みなら、私は。
If that is my dear brother's wish, then I... Nico. Her brother's wish, huh? Nico's guilty mutterings are just barely audible through the wall again. Tonight, I want to do something for her, but as I near Nico's door, I can easily make out her hoarse, tearful voice. She does so well at putting on the tough front during the day. But now, deep in the night, with no one else to hear her, she can't quite subdue the tears. I bet it's been this way since the night the real Oster, died.
兄様、
Dear brother,
どうしてこんなことに。
why? How could this have?
みんな私のせいで。
Everything is my fault.
ごめんなさい、兄様。
I'm sorry. Dear brother, I'm so sorry. That's enough. It's not your fault, Nico. Please.
ごめんなさい、兄様。ごめんなさい、兄様。
Brother, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm... Sob. The fevered pleas give way to a sniffling, pathetic sob in the silence. Nico. All I can do is stand helplessly at her door as slowly but surely she cries herself to sleep. Yeah, that really is all you can really do. Okay, on to the next part. Ooh, we get to choose. Norcy's room, Ruthie's room, and Audie's room. Um, let's go Ruthie. Now then, is Ruthie in her room? Lady Ruthie, do you have a moment? I stand at her door and call through it, but no answer comes. Even so, I can tell someone is on the other side. Lady Ruthie? I patiently call to her again. 2, 3 more times. Lady Ruthie. No response. Is she asleep? I wanted to talk about what happened as soon as possible, but it'd be rude to wake her up to do it. Lady Ruthie. One last time, I try to get her attention. Uh? Tiny, fearful voice breaks the silence, and someone stirs on the other side of the door.
どなたですか？
Who is it? Please forgive my visit at such a late hour. I lower my voice, speaking so I'm recognizable as Oster.
失礼しました。何か。
Uh, I'm sorry. What can I do for you? I would like to speak to you about something. May I enter?
は
Uh,
い、どうぞ。
yes, please. Then pardon me. Within, the room is entirely dark. Ruthie sits in one corner with her sewing kit, motionlessly in the gloom. I figured it was dark in here because she was sleeping, but... No lights? Is something wrong, my lady? Lady Ruthie.
はい、
Yes? My voice seems to reach in her, but Ruthie's stare is so empty. As I said, I wish to speak of a matter. I know the past day's events must be weighing heavily on your mind, but please, do you know what your plans are for the future? Ruthie answers with silence. Her listless, vacant form makes her seem all the more doll-like, a pretty, delicate thing sitting all alone in the dark. She must be absolutely drained, the poor thing. I didn't realize she would end up like in this state. She loved Haku. Considering recent events, I'm sure your father must be worried, even without his duties as Owl of Kajiro. If you intend to return to Kajiro, Princess, I wish to make it known that I will readily escort you. Ruthie, who had been listening in uncomfortable still silence, finally shakes her head.
私だけこの地を離れるなんて。
I cannot leave this land by myself.
そんなことできません。
I cannot do that. Even if Her Highness has taken refuge here, you have no reason to remain if you do not wish it. In fact, I am certain the princess would allow you to return home if you but requested it. Another moment of strained silence pass, and Ruthie shakes her head slowly.
やりたいことがありますから。
There is. Something I want to do. Something you want to do? Ruthie finally looks up, but her eyes don't quite meet mine, still staring into some unseen expanse just beyond sight.
白様のお墓にお花をお供えしたいです。
Sir Haku's grave. I want to offer flowers to it. What? To my grave. Ah, you understand. His gravesite.
はい、分かっています。白様は
Yes, I know. Sir Haku was vaporized, destroyed without a trace in the clash with Vurai. That's why I told everyone, anyway. That's why there's no grave, no body to mourn.
今すぐには無理かもしれません。
It may be impossible right now,
でもいつかちゃんと弔って差し上げたいと。
but one day, I wish to give him a proper memorial. You want to. You want to stay here, where war could break out at any moment notice, just to do that. As though she heard my thoughts, Ruthie opens her mouth to speak again.
白様ならきっとそんな面倒なことしてないでとっとと逃げろと言うと思います。
I'm certain Sir Haku would tell me not to bother, to just leave him, to go and find somewhere safe.
でも
But
そう言いながら自分は最後まで残って知恵を振り絞って無理をしてでもみんなを助ける。
he'd say that, and he wouldn't follow his own advice. He'd stay until the end, putting his wisdom and his life on the line for everyone.
白様はそんな人でした。
Sir Haku was that kind of person. Well, hold on. That's it. I'm not. I wasn't all that. Don't tell me. Riji's been acting strange. This is why. Ruthie has been grieving Haku for this whole time. She's been mourning me. Me, standing right here and lying to her face.
そんな白様だから私は
It was Sir Haku who I.
私は
I. Oh, Ruthie. Did you? It can't be. A princess like her would never. Why? Me of all people. The realization hammers a spike of guilt another inch into my chest, and I want to do nothing more in this moment than to tear it out. Unable to find the words, I instead stand to take my leave. Can't be in here right now.
気がついたら白様の姿を探してしまいます。
Sometimes, without realizing it, I look for Sir Haku. Soft, whispering voice stops me as I turn to go.
白様はもう
Sir Haku is.
もういないと分かっているのにその姿を探してしまいます。
is no more. I know that. And yet, I still feel like I can go find him, like nothing ever happened.
やっと
I finally,
今になってやっと
I
気
finally,
づきました。
I finally realized it. Too late.
これが恋というものだったんですね。
This is love, isn't it? Nothing the current me can say will do anything to soothe Ruthie's pain. Unable to give an answer, I excused myself and shut the door. Let's do Audie. And she's sleeping. Maybe wait till Audie's room to speak with her, only to find the woman herself passed out cold on the couch. She looks like she doesn't have a care in the world, with that peaceful expression. Always just going with the flow, even now. Gurin floats strangely motionlessly nearby. Is it sleeping? Too? Does it sleep? It's sleeping. Audie, come on. Up you get.
ああ、オストルハンク、おはよ
Oster. Morning, you. Audie stirs, then sits up, rubbing her eyes.
うな。
Jiggle, jiggle. Sorry to disturb you, Gurin. The morning has passed. You'll catch a cold if you sleep like that much more, you know.
心配ご無用や。うち、体は丈夫な方なんよ。
Eh, don't you worry about that. I keep myself healthy, I promise. Somewhat beside this point, would you care to wipe your mouth?
あ、いやいや、恥ずかしいな。
Right. Awkward. Audie hastily wipes the drool from her lips. May I ask why you were sleeping here? At this time of day, no less?
見ての通り、ここはお日様ポカポカやもん。絶好のお昼寝日和にお昼寝しないのはお日様に失礼やえ。
Well, you see how it's nice and sunny right here? Perfect for a cat nap. I'm showing my thanks to the sun for making me this lovely little spot.
まあここやとこうしてゴロゴロするくらいしかやることないしな。
Besides, there isn't a whole lot to do besides lay around right now. Has it occurred to you that you're allowed to go out? I'm certain the main street will have a pleasant diversion for you to pursue.
な、外へはもう行ってみたんよ。
See, I sort of already tried that. Audie stretches into a grand display of boredom, working the stiffness out of her limbs.
でもここって遊ぶとこが全然ないんよ。寄せとか舞台とかはないし、料亭も綺麗な反物や装飾を扱ってるお店もなかったし。
There isn't a whit worth doing out there. No stage, no theater, no restaurant, no stores selling the kind of clothes I like.
酒場はおじちゃんたちの憩いの場で、話を聞いてても近所の噂話とかちょっと下劣な話とか狩りの話とかやもん。
There's the pub, yeah, but all they talk about is local gossip and lewd stuff, and hunting.
お酒もあんまり美味しいのなかったな。なんか一つでも面白いお店あれば違うんやけど、
Their liquor,
どこにもな。
their liquor isn't even that good. So that's that. Not one really fun place in the bunch. Ollie lets out an untempered yawn, demonstrating the truest depths of her emu. You shouldn't expect that much from a boonies, really, Audie.
猫やんお手伝ったら退屈が紛れる思ったけど、何をやったらいいかよくわからんかったし。
I thought maybe I'd pitch in, help Nico out, but I don't have a clue where I should start there.
集中しすぎたせいか、 いつの間にか時間が過ぎててな。退屈は紛れたんやけど、なぜか夜に眠れなくなったりしてな。
I might have just focused too hard, but the time just slipped by before I knew it. Wasn't bored, definitely, but I didn't sleep that night. Yeah, we call that sleeping on the job.
はあ、ここにお兄さんがおればこんなに退屈しないで済むのにな。
Sigh. If love was about the place, I wouldn't be this bored. Audie gives another long yawn, then rolls back over onto her impromptu bed.
なあ、オストロハンもそう思うえ。
You agree, don't you, Oster? I suppose so.
お兄さんとは一緒にお酒飲んだり朝まで語り合ったりして退屈しないから楽しかったんやけど。
It was fun when he was with us, drinking all night, talking until morning.
はあ、残念やえ。
It's just a shame, really. Despite her mournful words, I can't quite detect the sadness in Audie's tone of voice. He sounds more like lamenting that he went on a particularly long trip. Can you be, like, just a smidgen more sad for me? Here I thought I parted on good terms with everyone. This reaction hurts more than I would have expected. Does his passing not sadden you? As I recall, Haku took care of you quite a lot. I don't believe I can count the number of times I spotted him nursing you back to health after a long night of drinks.
はいやいや、オストロハン見てたのけ？
Oh dear. Saw me taking advantage, huh, Oster? Hee. So are you.
お？どうなんて何が？
Hmm? What am I? What? Am I what? Not what. I'm asking you if you let sorrow at all. I'm asking if you felt sorrow at all. You seem unfazed at best by Haku's death, if I may observe as much.
悲しい？
Sad. Audie folds her arms, considering the word as if she were rolling in about on her tongue, tasting it.
確かにちゃんと話を聞いてくれたり仲は良かったと思うんよ。
I think her sad is boredom. He did listen to my gabbing, and I'd like to think we were close, sure.
でもそれと悲しいのなんか関係あるのけ？
Why would I be sad, though? I am not certain I follow. Are mourning and sorrow not the typical reactions to the death of someone close to you?
そうけ？死んじゃったものは仕方ないと思うえ。
Is that right? I never really got that. I thought it was more like death is just a fact. A fact.
みんな遅かれ早かれ命に終わりが訪れるんよ。
We all got what time we've given. Everyone life ends, right? Sooner or later.
うちらよりもお兄さんは運悪くそれが早かった。ただそれだけのことやえ。
Love, see, his rotten luck just caught up with him. This time was up before ours, and that's all there is to it, really. Didn't have the luck, huh? All these seemingly cold-hearted words could sure shock in me, but as I consider it, she's always been the pragmatist, maybe more so than I thought.
きっとアトイカローン神に惚れられて連れてかれちゃったんやね。
In fact, I bet you Audi Kororukama snapped him up, fell head over heels, and had to have him.
アトイカローン神一見いい男やけどぐうたらしたダメな男が好みって言うもんな。
That's how the stories are. Arikara Hunkama likes to surround herself with lookers, but they're all lazy bums like Love was. Uh,
どうかしたん？そんなところでうずくまったりして。なんかのおまじないけ？
did I say something wrong? What are you crouching like that for? Is it that some special prayer for the departed, or? It's nothing. I listened to your drunken ramblings and nursed you when you passed out. Damn it, Audie, you're gonna make me cry. It's a good thing the mask helps hide my facial expressions. I let out a small sigh and continue. At any rate, Lady Audie, may I ask what you intend to do from here? From here on?
うち？
Me? This land's fate is uncertain at best. Should you wish it, returning to your home of Shirora or Shirharo is an option. There is no need for you to stay for our sakes.
もう少しここに残ろうかな。
Nah. I think I'll hang around a while longer. She rolls over again, preoccupied.
これからのことは考え中や。ど
I,
うねっけ？
I think I'm still thinking about what I want to do. Isn't that enough? It's not an unacceptable answer. My non-committal replies lights up Audie's face as she turns back to me rapidly.
ならしばらくここに置いてもらおうえ。
He,
戦の時は手伝うから遠慮なく言ってな。
he, that's okay for me to stay? Then it's okay for me to stay. I'll help out whenever there's fighting. So tell me when that stuff is happening. As you wish. If you're willing to volunteer your strength, then I look forward to relying on you, my lady. Now, if you excuse me, I have other matters to attend to.
そうけ。それじゃあまたな。
Ah, do you? Bye bye for now then. Audie gives me an airy, jaunty wave as I retreat with my thoughts. Just a fact, huh? God, good that she's put the past behind her, but still, her words ring fresh in my mind, and I find myself unable to help sighing. That hurt to hear, man. I thought we meant more to each other than that. Shoulders drooping and feet dragging, I begin to show myself out.
はあ、本当に退屈やえ。よし、お兄さんと遊びに。
Lord, I wonder if Love would want to go.
ああ、そういえばもういなかったね。
Oh, right. He's dead.
お兄さんが。もうなんか胸がざわざわして気持ち悪い。
It almost feels that when she's talking to other people, her personality, she projects a nonchalant personality. But when she's somewhat by herself talking to herself, that's when her true self appears. Aku. Oh. I don't like this. Not at all. Why does my chest feel so weird?
つまらんな。
This isn't much fun either.
なあ、クラリンもそう思うえ？
Right, Kurin. Jiggle. Audie muttering questions go unanswered. Silence reigning in the closed room. Okay, now let's go to Norcy's room. Norcy, have you a moment? I'd like to talk to you about something.
オーストルか。
Oh, Oster. Dorsey looks up at my voice. In her hands rests her prized bow. She must have been maintaining it. My apologies. Am I disturbing you?
何気にするな。すぐに終わる。
Oh, I'm nearly done. Just a moment. With that, she tests the bowstring's tension with a finger, then puts away the rest of her kit.
それで、何か用か？もう日も暮れてしまったが。
So, what do you need so late in the day? The sun's already set. Oh, I only wanted to confirm something.
ふむ、大切な話のようだ。あ、そんなところに立ってないで座ったらどうだ？
Sounds like something important, then. Go ahead. Take a seat. Sitting where Norsey indicates, I take a deep breath and gather my thoughts. This is where things get tricky. Aster, how would you put this? A useless question, of course, considering Aster isn't here anymore. I'm Hin. He's me. I have to be convincing either way. Haku's fate was unfortunate. Norsey's gaze flatters for a moment. The familiar name leaves my mouth. She glances away.
それはオシトルの責任というわけではなかろう。ただ、
You know it isn't your fault, Aster. It's just...
短い間とはいえ、心を許した仲間がいなくなるのは辛いものだな。
Losing a comrade you've opened up to is hard. Even if it's only for a short time. We knew each other. No, Norsey. Suppressing the too familiar guilt welling up inside me. I let out a held breath before I continue. What are your plans from here on?
どうするとは？
What do you mean, plans? She affixes me with a look of bafflement. The peace will not continue for long. If you remain here, I cannot guarantee your safety. You may need to put your life on the line. If you want out, as it were, you may not get another chance. Norsey's eyes widen ever so slightly at the idea, but she gives me a small, knowing smile.
何かと思えば、そんなことか。
You came to talk to me about that? Yes. That.
何？てっきり私たちが従うのは当然と考えているものだと思っていた。何せ、ヤマトの存亡がかかっているのだ。
And here I was, thinking taking your orders wasn't really going to be up for debate. Yamato itself is hanging in the balance, isn't it? Norsey's offer a more confident smile, the kind she used to show Haku more often. I see. Norsey's mind is already made up. Fixing my self-image of Aster a little more firmly inside, I smile back. No, I had no intention of forcing you. You and your brother are hardly bound to Yamaton's throne. Even in our most desperate hour, I would not force your hand. Your freedom is your own.
それはそうかもしれないが、だがな。
I suppose that's true, but... As though remembering something particularly unpleasant, Norsey cuts herself off abruptly and scowls. But what?
なんでもない。お前にはわからんことだ。
Nothing. Nothing you would understand anyway. She gives me a cold, pointed look, refusing to speak a word further on the matter. So I asked Norsey, what are your plans?
知らん。
I don't know, and I don't care. And now she's in a sour mood. What did I say? I didn't badmouth her interests.
すまない。少し気が立っていた。だがな、悪いのはオシトル。お前だぞ。
I apologize. I'm somewhat on edge. Aster, let me make something clear to you.
確かに我が家は取り潰され、没落した。
It's true my house used to rule all of Uzuraha's clans. Used to. We don't have that honor anymore.
だが、それでもヤマトへの、帝への忠心は変わっていない。
But just because we've fallen out of favor, that doesn't mean we've forsaken Yamato or the Mikado.
それをヤマトの、姫殿下の一大事に。 進化ではないなどと言い、蚊帳の外にするなどと。
So that sounds like she was maybe her family was an owl family or close to it. If they had the clan, maybe they're outer. uh. And now here we are at your beck and call. Here we are at the Empire's time of need, and you want to send us away because we're hardly bound?
仲間の危機を何もせず指を加えて見ていろと、そういうのか？
What do you want me to do? Be a good girl, shut up, and twiddle my thumbs while my friends and allies fight and die?
吐くならば、奴ならばそんなことは言わないはずだ。
Haku would never have told me to do that. I see. Forgive me. I spoke only with your welfare in mind.
いや、こちらこそすまなかった。ついカッとなってしまった。
No, I apologize as well. I let myself, I let the moment get away from me. Blood rushed into my head, maybe. Judging by her reaction to that first thing, I'm going to have to choose my next words carefully. Speak the truth. I said that because I want to strike a deal with you, Norsey.
取引？
A deal? Yes. My terms are these. Should you pledge your allegiance to the princess, I promise that I will externate and restore your house. What? A yelp of surprise escapes Norsey at the word restore, but she quickly calms herself, reaching for a cup of tea.
いい女はどんな経典するようなことがあっても決して動じないものだ。
A good woman is never rattled, no matter how astounding her circumstances. She mutters to herself in an effort to soothe her nerves, unable to quite contain her emotional response. I figure she'd been wrecking havoc all over the Empire under the noble theft name, all for the sake of restoring her family's name. Deriving no small of satisfaction from Norsey's change in tune, I lay out the additional condition. And should you aid Her Highness in reclaiming the capital, when the task is done, yours shall be a seat among her 8 pillar generals.
しかし、いくらお前がウコンウェ大将とはいえ、そこまでの権限は。
What? But even as a pure guard of the right, you can't possibly have the authority. I do. Quietly and calmly, I put her objections to rest, but an expression of surprise quickly washes over her face.
何？
What? Okay, maybe it's a bit of stretch to imagine Oster having quite that much power, but this is something of a special case.
どういう意味だ？
What do you mean? Aiding Her Highness recapture of the capital would be an honor unparalleled. You would, I am quite certain, be well rewarded. The restoration of your house is a position it once held away is a prize none would dare deny you. I won't let them. Yes. By the war's end, I'll have them saying General Norsey is the strongest in all of Yamato. He slashes out of the overflowed mug as Norsey's hand tremble. She's considering it. My words and my power as Imperial Guard would, of course, be devoted fully towards this end.
それは、しかし。
Even so, Norsey glances away, breaking eye contact for a pregnant moment. Very well. When Her Highness recovers, I will find a way to prove to you this is no empty promise.
ならば。
Then, no, I will have your answer later. I know for Yamato's sake you are willing, but please think on this first. The restoration of your family's name would not, after all, affect you alone. I will take my leave for now. My apologies again for barging in at this hour. I stand up to go. If I push on her a little more, I'm sure I can get a positive answer, but I should give her time to calm down and consider it objectively. I just dumped a lot on her in her lap at the once. It might not be the most shrewd way of doing this, but I excuse myself from Norsey's room. It is a very smart move because if you can get if she still has her family still has followers in another region who are still loyal to her family, because it just feels like they just newly fell. So I expect there's still a lot of loyalty still around. he could then hopefully when they get in that region have a easier time of occupation or whatever, and get more recruits and all that from her. Ruthie's father, if he can somehow convince her to side with the princess, which I doubt she won't. Her father's a owl of his own country, so there's another ally. And if he can get Audie to use her brain more, or at least be willing to side with him and the princess, her father, even though it's the Navy, as long as they can get coast, they can get supplies, food, because of that Navy. But because of what we know about Husker doing its invasion thing, he might be a little busy. So we'll have to see how that stuff, where they evade from. But before we go too much more, I gotta go take a bathroom break, so I'll be right back. Okay, let's get back to this. Oster's room. The whisper murmurs from the next door resumed that night.
ごめんなさい、
She's still
兄
going.
様。
She's gonna go for that for a while. All I can do at this stage is watch over Nico from a distance. I'm getting worried about her health. We can't go on like this. This isn't sustainable. What do I do? As I draw near the door, I ponder for what to do. Listen at a crack.
ごめんなさい、兄様。私のせいで、私のせいで、私のせいで。
I'm sorry, brother. Dear brother. It's my fault. Mine. My fault. My fault. My fault. Nico. Nico sits curled into a tight ball, pale and rail thin like a corpse. She looks like she's wasting away.
私のせいで、私のせいで、私のせいで、私のせいで。
It's my fault. My fault. It's my fault. My fault. My fault. My fault. My fault. Her eyes, dark and glazed over with spire, stare sightlessly ahead, as though fixed on something beyond this world. I can't do this anymore. If I don't get Nico to stop, I'm not going to get her back. If that's the case, Nico, I'm coming in. Listlessly, Nico raises her head to regard me, eyes hazy and unfocused. I push past the oppressive silence to sit beside her. Looks like I'm going to pull this off after all. Everyone's fooled. Everyone thinks I'm the real Oster. All the luck, huh? Never thought I'll make it so easy as a Yamato Imperial Guard. Nico, let me be straight with you. I know it's bad. I know it's probably not right, but I'm gonna make use of this position. Not for you, but for myself. This is a once in a lifetime chance. And hey, if everything goes my way, maybe the Mikado throne isn't an impossible dream. And if I can pull that off, it's gonna be all the world's wealth at my fingertips. Easy living forever. All thanks to Oster, of course. What a fool that guy was, huh? Of all people, he decided to put his trust in me to take his place.
のです。
But you. A muffled whisper slips from Nico's mouth. Huh?
あなたらしいのです。
I said, that's just like you. Hmm?
そうやって不本意な役を演じることで、すべて一人で背負い込もうというのですか。
Hey, Suki. I'm doing good. You? Are you trying to take everything on your shoulders by playing that false role?
本当に、
You really are.
本当に不器用なのです。
You
あなたは
you are even worse at this than I thought. Wiping away tears, Nico raises her head and smiles silently.
兄様がそんなことでは、妹である私がしっかりしないとダメなのです。
With my dear brother in such a sorry state, I must be strong, as a sister, after all. Nico, you. She still looks pale, but a light that wasn't quite there before has returned to her eyes.
もう大丈夫なのです。
I will be all right.
兄様も部屋に戻って休んだ方がいいのです。
You should return to your room and rest. You're right. Back to bed with you, too, now. Sleep well and smile for me again, would you?
はいです。
I shall.
おやすみなさい、兄様。
Good night, dear brother. I stand in the dark hallway and look up at the ceiling for a while. Dear brother, huh? In no respect am I a match for Oster that used to be. It must be hard for her to accept me, a knockoff, posing as her real sibling. But even so, she resolved to call me brother. Oster, your little sister's a strong one. Okay. Actually, story progress. Everyone here? Everyone's here then?
オストルは遅い。
You're late, Oster.
待ちくたびれたじゃない。
Kept us waiting, yeah? My apologies. There was a matter that required my attention for longer than I anticipated. I take my designated seat. Nico, ready seat next to me, glances in my direction ever so often. I know you're worried, but damn it, looking at me like that is only going to make things suspicious. I do my best to signal some kind of reassurance to Nico, locking eyes with her. Seemingly getting the message, Nico faces forward, Ebbet still wearing a mask of worry.
それで、オストル、話というのは何だ?
So, what is it that you wanted to talk about, Oster? No need to word it so tensely. It's nothing so complicated. The science is still kicking my ass, and I am in a stream that rated a dude wearing a Gamma suit, so there was no way I would follow her watching him. No, I am on the laptop at work, and my more while I listen to you. How far in the game are you now? In this game, this is the new game. This is I'm only about 5 hours into the sequel to Mask of Deception. This is the Mask of Truth. So we're at the beginning. Still. It's about it's about just after the events at the end of Mask of Deception. About half a month, because at the beginning of the game you start as Cone. Of this one, you start as Cone and do her thing, and then it skips you back to half a month for the events of what happens with Cone to now where Oster slash Haku is figuring out what to do. Yeah, it's just it's the direct sequel. I was because I played the Mask of Deception, some of the items there were able to trans over to here. So once we get into a situation where I can put stuff on people, I can put items on them and everything. And also there was a little segment that if I'd gotten any of my characters up to level 50, some of their stat points would come over into this game. Well, considering I only got up to what, 33, 34, I think. I didn't do no grinding hardly in the last one, so that was gonna be a little there. So right now we're in the homeland of Oster and Nico, Ina Akamu, with the princess and everything, so we're just seeing. Yeah, my sinuses also are kicking me. That's why every time I stop for a while, I have to blow my nose and such. Oh, I'm dealing with that right now. But yeah, no need to word it so tensely. It's nothing so complicated. Besides, supper will be ready soon. I imagine I hardly intend to keep you through it.
Huh?
Hmm? No sir regards me with a perturbed expression, tilting her head to one side. Is something wrong?
いや、ちょっとな。なんとなく気のせいかもしれないが。
Oh, it's nothing. It may just be me, but
オシトル、少し雰囲気が変わったか。
Oster, did something happen? Did you change? Hmm?
そう言われる
Yep.
と雰囲気が柔らかくなった感じがするな。
Yeah, that was one thing I said yesterday. In all the looks, Haku, yes, he looks very similar to Oster, but he's softer. His features and everything are a lot softer than Oster, who had military training and all that, so he's toned down. While Oster has a little Haku has a little baby fat, you can almost say, on him, or lazy bug fat. Now that you mention it, he does feel a bit softer than before, doesn't he?
プルプルプルプル。
Jiggle jiggle.
おや、クラリンもそう思うけ。
You think so too, huh, Burin?
そんなにオシトルの旦那と話す機会はなかったが、以前の旦那はもっと堅苦しい感じだったんじゃない？
You you and had me you and me never got you and me never got much one-on-one time, Oster. But she's right. The Oster I know isn't the relaxing dinner break kind of guy.
お塩は硬くてちょっと柔らかいからな。
Oster is hard most of the time, and a little soft only sometimes, yep. Everyone whispers about whether I seem different from before or not.
兄様。
Dear brother? Nico, concerned, looks at me. I didn't think that they would jump right on it like this. I didn't even get a chance to say anything. This is bad. I thought I had a pretty good front going, and they were already questioning it. But I came prepared. Your confusion is considerable. Allow me to explain. This is the natural me, behind closed doors. You know the Imperial Guard me during my tenure in the capital. Circumstances demanded a harder exterior than I was accustomed to showing. Truly, I am more Unka at the heart than that, Oster.
なるほどね。
Ah,
そういう
that's a
ことだ
good
な。今までと少し違って見えるのも納得じゃない？
that's a good uh camouflage. I got it. It's just different, yeah. Thought I had you figured out. Now this.
だが意外だな。するってと、ガキの頃はやんちゃしてたってわけか。
Kind of surprising, honestly. You must have gotten away with a lot of mischief as a kid. My home is on the brink of war. It's no longer a time for courtly pretense. If I've disappointed you, I am sorry.
その気持ちよくわかるえ。うちも宮廷に登った時なんかは緊張してしっかりせんとなって思うもん。
I suppose I understand. Whenever I had to go into the Imperial court, I get all nervous trying to force myself to act proper. Yeah, somehow I have a hard time buying that. I do too.
そうだったのか。いや、いいと思うぞ。そんなオシトルも悪くない。
He's able to fool these guys a little bit easier, but I think Kuru and Ogi are gonna be a lot harder to fool. Because Ogi can he's gonna probably have to come clean with Ogi quite not easily to get him on his side. And Kuru, just because they grew up together. So that's why. I mean, I'm alright with it. I actually prefer this Oster a little more. If that's so, well, I'm glad to have you continue support. Everyone nods to one another, seemingly satisfied with my exploration. But Nico's sigh of relief as a moment of tension passes. She doesn't look particularly happy about the means.
どうして
How? Hmm?
どうして皆さんはそんな平然としていられるのですか？
How can you all be so calm?
ルルやん
Really? At Ruthie's words, the room goes silent.
ハク様が亡くなったのですよ。クオン様もいなくなって。
Yeah, I figured she would be the...
どうして
Sir Haku is dead. Miss Cone is gone. And yet, you're all acting like...
皆さんにとってハク様はクオン様はその程度の方だったのですか？
Was Sir Haku, Miss Cone... Did they mean that little to all of you?
ルルティエ様
Lady Ruthie,
それは違うぞ。
that's not true. But
付き合いこそ短いが、ハクとクオンは大切な仲間だ。
we may not have known each other long, but Haku and Cone are both our dear comrades.
ハクの死が悲しくないわけがない。クオンのことが辛くないわけがない。
It's not that Haku's death isn't sad, or that Cone's leaving isn't difficult.
だが、今はそれを嘆き悲しんでいる時ではない。
But right now, we can't be distracted by grief.
悲しみを押し殺し、我らは一丸となって、この先の苦難に立ち向かわねばならぬのだ。
All that sadness and sorrow, in the face of danger, we have to hold that back, not ignore it. Just put it aside for a little while.
嘆き悲しむのは、その後だ。
Mourning. That can come when there's time to spend on it.
海の習わしやとな。安心して旅立てるようにみんなで飲んで歌って踊って楽しく騒いで笑って送ってあげるんよ。
You mean, Norsey? Yeah, that's a top. She's a half ninja. She's more of a, or maybe I should say she's a archer ninja. You could almost say. But yeah, that's her skin top. skin tight top, or clothing, I should say. Shipborne traditions that everyone celebrates after a death. The dead can set sail knowing everyone they care about is singing and feasting.
ルルやそんな悲しんでたらお兄さん安心して旅立てないえ。
Truly, don't you want to send love off on a good journey?
でも
But
それで
that's
は
but that's
様
so
があまりに
Ruthie. Thank you, Lady Ruthie. Huh? I'm certain Haku is gladdened by your thoughts of him, sorrowful or otherwise. Dorothy is, however, right. Now cannot be the time for lamenting. That being said, retrieving a familiar metal fan from my inside pocket, I raised the weapon in front of everyone.
それは
Oh, that's... I will never forget my dear friend's resolve, nor his company. This fan will assure that I intend on carrying it into battle, as he did, as a remembrance of a lost comrade. Can you see me now, Oster?
オシトル様
Sir Oster?
なるほどね。なんとなく合点がいった。
Yeah. I guess that makes sense.
もしかして、それも同じ感じとか、なのかい？
You, keeping those two around for the same reason then? Jacobald eyes drop towards my legs, which the twins are each leaning on.
はあ
Hmm? Yeah. And there's the twins. Twins tilt their heads. I had a feeling that was going to come up.
いや、気になりつつも、なんか聞けなかったというか、聞いちゃいけない気がしたというか。
Because, see, I wasn't going to say it, but then nobody was saying it. If it's not going to get said, others nod along in agreement.
この嬢ちゃんたちが、オシトルの旦那に仕えているように見えるんだが。
Looks an awful lot to me like those two are serving you now, Oster. Ah, that. It seems Haku ordered them to.
遺言
His dying words.
それが主様の遺言でしたので
Our previous master's final wish.
遺言？あの時お前たちはその場にいなかったはずでは。しかも意識を失っていなかったか？
His final? Huh? Don't I remember you being with us when that happened? And you were both unconscious at that.
主様の声が届いた
We felt. We heard.
オシトル様を新しい主様と思って仕えよとの声が届きました
Our master's voice reached us in our slumber, imploring us to serve Lord Oster as we did him,
尽くす
and we serve.
ですからこれからは新しい主様に尽くします
We have a master once more, and all is right,
すべては御心のままに
for his will is everything. That's the fiction we agreed on anyway.
はあ不思議な話やな
Sort of strange, but
んなことがって言いたいが、この二人のことだ。十分あり得るんじゃない？
yeah, you can't really, yeah, that was the one thing that was, those twins were the big, giveaway that he's Haku, but it is a plausible explanation. That's how it shook out then. Seems likely enough considering these two.
なるほど。
But yeah, that's her, how should I say? This, she wears a bodysuit underneath, and then she has this stuff, her apron over, or as I should say, underneath her assets. The one thing is, if you go back to Hone's little section, there's a girl in her party. You should see how her clothes are situated. It has it where she has a frilly top, but her assets are hanging, and the only thing that's really holding it up are the two long shoulder straps that go down to her lower bridge. So her under assets are bare, so it's just barely covering the top, and then everything underneath the side and everything are all bare and just being held. It's when I saw it, I didn't notice it at first, but I thought she was naked completely underneath. But so I would almost, it's just, they went a little fan servicey on these last two segments. I see. Going by the group's assorted reaction, they're only half convinced, but I have to stay committed at this point. That's the shape of it. I'm certain Haku would have wanted them to follow him where he's going, you understand?
この二人ならやりかねんか。確かに、そうなっては不憫というものだ。
Those two would do that too, and I prefer if we didn't lose anyone else.
旦那らしいじゃない。
Yeah. But it's whatever. It's tasteful at least. It's not blatant sexism. Somewhat, I should say. It is somewhat sexism. But that's what you get from Japanese stuff. If I think this is Japanese made. It's hard to remember, but I think so. Sure sounds like something Boss would say.
改めてよろしくお願いします。
We are pleased at the opportunity to continue working with you. The twins bow their heads.
うむ、こちらこそよろしく頼む。
Uh-huh. Same here.
おわ、よろしく頼むぞ。
Yep. Real pleased.
なるほどな。よくわからんけど、また一緒でいいよね。
I'm not
こ
sure
ちらこそよろしゅうな。
I'm not sure I get it. But if we're all still together, then the pleasure's mine. It appears I was able to get them to believe the lie for now. Ruthie, she's the only one that you have to convince. Ruthie, silent, remains fixated on the twins, who busy massage me and wipe my face. The proximity of certain body parts to certain other body parts during this process is purely coincidence, probably. At any rate, the campaign ahead, I realize, is somewhat personally significant to me. If you do not wish it, you do not have to aid me in this. To be frank, I have no solid plan. Not yet. The only guarantee is that the difficult days await us all. If you join us on the field, it would be my honor to have you. But I will force nothing. Each person here should arrive at their own decisions. I've called this meeting merely to remind you of where you stand in that regard.
主様、肩をお揉みしますか。
And they're going, Master, do you wish your shoulders massage?
それとも足をお揉みしますか。
Or should we tend to your feet again? They are the two biggest ones that will break this lie open if they keep on doing this. Sarah, I beg your pardon. This is a serious matter.
私たちはもっと真剣に。
As is this.
まあ、悪の旦那もジョーちゃんたちの扱いには難儀してたじゃない。
Boss did have a hard time keeping them under control too, didn't he?
難儀だな、ボシは。
Hard time, huh, Ash?
ああ、それもそうだな。
Suppose that's fine.
オシトル様
Sir Aster?
オシトルはなんやお兄さんみたいになってる
I don't know The Shining, per se. I think I've heard of it, but I just... Is that a movie or... Aster's kind of like Love now, isn't he? Chilly. I suppose I come to know firsthand Haku's torment. The Hort. Yeah, at least they don't want to kill him if he doesn't agree with them. Yeah, I watched that movie. It just didn't connect it too much with this. But I can understand the connection now. Yeah, I remember watching that on TV. Watching it with my mom. Had to go step away a couple times because it was just so cringeworthy. Even though I was young, I was like, it was so cringy. It's gut wrenching. Before that even started, and then there's so many similar ones started coming out around the same time. And it's like, ugh. It's the one thing with Hollywood. Once one of them starts production, and it's got big names, a whole bunch of other ones start popping up not long after. And it's just like all you see is this. That's why I somewhat like it when I got hooked onto the internet. I can watch all the stuff I was hard to find. I never appeared on the TV all the time back then. And I get to choose what I wanted to watch instead of watching what the different channels wanted me to watch. It's gut-wrenching, but this way, I don't think I have to worry about being exposed for a while. So quit looking at your brother like that, would you, Nico? Well, she's acting somewhat like her brother, or sister, how she should. But yeah, see, this is her uniform. It's all connected together. It's her and then she just has her over jacket up, down, around, underneath, and everything. I would almost think this kind of setup would get in her way because it would fall down and everything. When you're shooting. But they just had to do the fan service stuff. Lord Kuru, reconnaissance reporting in.
ご苦労様です。それで状況の方は
Good work. What do you have for me?
はい。今のところ背後に敵の姿は見えないとのことです。
Nothing yet, sir. No enemies in visible pursuit.
そうですか。このまま無事にエンナカムイにたどり着ければいいのですが。
These are Oster's elite men from the capital. I see. Hopefully we can make it to Iniakmu without any trouble.
しかし、追っ手の数はあれからさらに増えているはず。未だ油断はできないかと。
It's best we keep our guard up regardless, sir. They'll have bigger numbers than last time if they do catch up.
そうですね。 先を急ぎましょう。彼らに追いつかれる前に少しでも前に進まねば。
You're right. Pass the word along. We have to push forward and widen our lead before that happens. Uh, uh, uh. Whoop. She fell. Ugh.
おばあさん、大丈夫ですか？
Ma'am, are you alright?
キュール様、
Lord Kuru,
足を痛めたのですか？見せてください。
your ankle. Is it hurt? Let me see.
いいえ、私などに構わず、どうか先へお進みください。
Oh, no. Please, my lord. Leave me. You have to keep going.
何を言うのです。そんなことできるはずがないでしょ。
What are you saying? We'd never abandoned the soul.
もう少しの辛抱です。この谷を越えればエンナカムイはもう目の前ですから。
It's just a little further now. Past this valley. We'll be right on the Iniakamu border. We'll be there before you know it.
はい。
All right.
ご老人、それがしの方に。
Please lean on my shoulders, ma'am.
ありがとうございます。
Oh, thank you.
キュール殿、ここはそれがしに任せて、あなたは指揮に注力を。
Lord Kuru, allow me to take responsibility for this woman's well-being. Yours is your command.
ですが、
But
お忘れ召さるな。あなたは我々をエンナカムイへと導く義務があること。
please, sir, you have a duty to guide us all to Iniakamu safely.
一時の感情に流され、対局を見失ってはなりませぬ。我々は皆、あなたに命を預けているのです。
You mustn't let emotional impulses distract you from the bigger picture. We're dependent on you to see us through this, sir.
わかりました。それではよろしくお願いします。
Very well. I understand. Please see to her.
これで良かったのでしょうか。
Am I doing this right?
兄上より任された密信を疑われるこの越州をその家族ともども帝都より脱するという大役。
The job is getting Oster's elites out of the capital undetected. Brother's own personal troops, prosecuted in his name.
エンナカムイへの一番の近道だからとこの渓谷を選んでしまったけど、
I chose to take them through this valley because it's the shortest route to Iniakamu, but
このような足場の悪い荒れ地では逆にお年寄りや子供たちに負担をかけてしまう。
the rough terrain and the poor footing looks like it's going to be a burden to children and elders.
おまけに左右は高い崖、身を隠せるような場所もない。今敵に追いつかれたらあっという間に逃げ場がなくなってしまう。
On top of that, we're surrounded by sheer cliffs. Any enemy would be able to box us in easily.
たとえ遠回りになったとしても、もっと歩きやすく見通しのいい道を選ぶべきだったか。
Maybe it would have been better to go for the longer, safer route instead.
やはり私はまだまだ未熟。
Just as I feared, I'm far too experienced in making these decisions. I still have a lot to learn.
兄上なら何でも先を見越して